So the first season of Dexter Resurrection has finally ended, and we've got a lot to discuss. So let's get to it. What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out my review of this first season of Dexter Resurrection. And this is my brother, Chris Reyes.
What up?
He is a huge Dexter fan, just like I am. The Dexter universe, franchise, series, whatever you want to call it, to me is easily in the top 5 greatest television shows of all time. It's actually a TV series that I can go back and watch multiple times. I'm actually binging it again right now. But we just ended the very first season of Dexter Resurrection. We kind of had a little get together at my house. We had a few people come over to watch the finale. And I'm going to go ahead and say that we're not going to go episode by episode, but what we're going to do is discuss the likes, the dislikes, and just what we thought about the season in general. I've heard a lot of people actually praise this season.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of people have said this may be the top number 1 Dexter season of all time.
I'm one of those people.
And have you seen the ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes?
Last I looked, it was like a 94 and up on just about everything.
Yes.
So critically, it's probably the best season. I'd have to go back and look, but it's up there. I'd say top 3 at least.
Yeah.
Critically.
Yeah. I think everybody's favorite season always is season 4 with the Trinity Killer. John Lithgow, is a phenomenal actor, and it's not just from the Trinity Killer. Every movie I've ever seen him play in, Cliffhanger, of course, Harry and the Hendersons.
Gotta love Harry.
The Santa Claus movie. Was it back in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
And just anything I've ever seen him in, he's always done a phenomenal job. But
you say Cliffhanger?
Yeah, he was the bad guy in Cliffhanger. But so to go ahead and get into it, this picks up right where New Blood leaves off, and I'm gonna say so many people hated New Blood. I enjoyed that entire run.
I did too.
Yes, I do agree with Harrison being annoying throughout the season. He wasn't a terrible character.
No.
But they really played on the bitterness of him not having his father leaving and stuff. Now, in my opinion, if they would not have rushed it, I do think that could have been one of the better endings to Dexter. I was fine with how he went down and stuff like that, but they just wrapped it really quick. And I don't think they realize how much money and how much Dexter is popular as much as he is.
I told everybody I talked to, you, my wife, whoever, you cannot sit there with a straight face and tell me that they didn't think that. They thought that was the end of Dexter. They was like, let's do this. People didn't like the end of season 8. This will be a one and done.
Yeah.
Them ratings and money came in, and they was just like, okay, now how do we bring him back?
Yeah.
It was over after New Blood. I don't care what they say.
And thank goodness Michael C. Hall enjoys playing Dexter.
Yeah.
And apparently he was talking to, I don't know if it's a creator of the show or writer. I don't know who it is, but they directed one of his music videos from his band Princess Goes. And he had said something to him, Michael said something to him about, what if he's not dead? So Michael was even thinking about bringing Dexter back. But I will say, starting off the season, I do like how they explained how he did live as far as being in the climate and the cold weather.
They told him straight up, didn't they? Like, if it had been summertime or hot out, then you'd have been gone.
And that's a viable, I guess you could say, reason for somebody to stay alive is, he's laying in the snow and it's not bleeding out as fast as he would have. But I will say the one thing that I wish we would have gotten this season is his girlfriend from New Blood. I think her name was Angela.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like how they were just like, here's a note from her and it says, now we're even.
Yeah, I wondered if it was like maybe she was shooting a movie and couldn't do it, or if they just said, screw it, we don't need her back. Because she was a big part of New Blood. For her to just up and vanish was weird.
Yeah, and I mean, I do like that they told what went down. Like her and her daughter had
Mm-hmm.
left town and stuff, but it was a simple fact that there was no real explanation on why she let him get away, especially killing her deputy. But then later on, they're like, well, they did show that he fired his gun at him, and but still, it's the fact that I wish they would have dove a little bit more deeper into that of because I was really thinking when he was in the hospital in the first episode, I was like, the cops are going to be waiting on him as soon as he wakes up.
Yeah, I did too. Because I liked Logan. He was like a genuine dude in New Blood.
Yeah,
And like when he killed him there at the end, he wasn't part of the code
no,
in any way, shape, or form. He just cracked his neck and like it ticked me off when I seen that. I was like, he didn't deserve that.
right. Also, um, it had to be Angela that was taking him to the hospital
Yeah,
because in
yeah.
Original Sin, I loved Original Sin how it started off with him in the back of the police car. That had to be her.
I thought when it kind of starts from the overhead and then it like zooms in. I may be wrong, but I thought it showed like somebody with a ponytail. I assumed it was her.
I don't remember.
But
Like I
I
said,
thought it showed kind of not her face, but like a side view or something.
yeah.
But yeah, I assumed that was her that brought him.
And to kind of go further into the season, like I said, we're not going episode by episode, but there's a few things that I would say didn't really capture me in this season. A couple of dislikes that I had, and it's not that they were real major because they didn't ruin the season at all.
No.
And I don't know if you had any dislikes, but one of my dislikes is how fast Blessing took Dexter in.
Especially in New York.
Yeah, when he goes to New York um, and he finally meets Blessing. Yes, I know Dexter has a history of kind of charming his way into people's lives, but Blessing is telling Dexter that yeah, there's a killer killing all these. They're supposed to be Uber drivers, but they're called something else.
You share
I don't know.
something like that. Yeah.
And then within 5 minutes, he's like, "Do you got a home?"
Yeah.
And you know, and
You got to do it. Dexter.
and yeah, and I hate that. I'm sorry. The guy was a good actor, but his voice just killed Dexter. I get you to betray me, and I was just like, "Dadgum, dude!" But he just took Dexter in that quick, and you just told him, "Yeah, there's a serial killer around here. You gotta be careful."
And
Hey,
like,
you want to?
it looks just like you.
Yeah,
You want to live downstairs?
I didn't buy that. I felt like maybe they could have went a few more episodes to build their friendship for him to offer it, but that was a little rushed in my opinion. It was like they just had to hurry up and get Dexter a home.
I think they just like we ain't got time to fiddle fart around with this. Let's just get him placed so he's got a place to call home. Like we ain't got 2 episodes to build this up.
Right. And I will go on record and say I think New York City fit the environment for Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has talked about Miami, and you know they were so used to that. And then when he was in the colder lake something, I can't remember what it was called, but in New Blood,
Yeah, if you wouldn't ask me, I could have told you.
I like that setting in New Blood, but this one really feels like it fits more of Dexter style because it's a bigger city like Miami. Um, but going back to the negatives, I'll say it wasn't that I didn't like the Blessing character. It was just he really took Dexter in really fast, and then for him to open up to Dexter as much and introducing his family to the stranger, I was kind of like, man, y'all could have really eased that in there. But I think what it is too is they was only signed for 10 episodes.
Yeah, I wish they would go back to the 12 or 13 episodes.
Yeah,
Just give a couple more.
but and I would say probably my character that I did not like through the entire season is the detective, the one that always puts the headphones on and she listens to the Bee Gees.
Yeah, she didn't bother me as much. Like at the beginning, I was kind of like, I don't know how I'm gonna like this girl, and she was fine. She didn't bother me. I guess because if she would have been on screen more, it probably would have been like, okay, let's wrap this up. But I don't know, she didn't bother me. I could take her or leave her.
I just didn't get the whole putting the headphones on and her. She found every little thing she possibly could that you're like, ain't no way, not that quick. And I didn't like her character at all, especially even the way she talked. It was just one of those. She didn't ever smile, and that's one thing. Like the last episode when they were like, "You can at least smile." She's like, "I find no reason to smile, and I don't smile on purpose just to." I was just like, "I'm like, come on!" It was like she was
It's just
almost a robot.
yeah, like just a character, something to kind of define that character. It's like just a weirdo kind of.
Yeah,
I've seen people say, "Oh, maybe she's autistic or something." Maybe I don't know, but I've seen people that kind of act that way before and stuff. Like they just kind of in their own little world.
yeah.
So I guess that was her thing.
But I am glad she wasn't in it as much as they could have put her
Yeah,
in. But I'm going to go ahead and say I think they had a phenomenal cast in this season. I wasn't sure when the first trailer come out and we seen the whole plot of the different serial killers getting together in this group. The way I thought it was going to be was it was a competition.
yeah. I was kind of wondering about that too because I've seen where other people said that they thought it was going to be almost like over bloated. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of thought that, kind of like with some of the superhero movies, like there's too many people around. I thought it would maybe take some focus off of Dexter,
Yeah.
but it really didn't. It didn't at all. I don't feel. And
No.
yeah, each person, each one of the the big names kind of had their time to shine, and had
Yeah.
their own thing. I really dug it.
Only one person got away, and that was Al, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Al lied to Dexter and hung up the phone and was like, "I'm out. I'm going home."
And I will say that the one thing that was missing from New Blood, you can really tell, is back, and that's Harry.
Yes.
Harry's ghost being back is better than Deb. It's better than everybody. I've seen where some people are hoping next year that Brian Moser is that. I don't want to see that. Drop the whole ice truck, my brother killer stuff.
I
He's
think, supposed to be like Harry's kind of the angel on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's like almost like the devil on the other shoulder.
I get it, but in the last episode, Dexter finally looked at him and said, "I'm glad I killed you."
Yeah.
I mean, he's done with him. But overall, like I said, as far as the plot of the serial killers, I thought was done very well. I can't think of the Lady Vengeance. I don't know her actual name. She played in Breaking
Kristen
Bad.
Ritter.
She's a great actress, but I'm glad her and Dexter didn't do the love connection thing. I'm glad he didn't end up with her because it's just like Dexter don't need a woman every daggum season.
No. Rita had him grounded, and everybody from then on was just like, why is she here?
Yeah.
Even Hannah. I wasn't a big fan of Hannah. She's okay, but he didn't need her.
Get out. Hannah. I wish they wouldn't have killed her off because I'd love to see Hannah come back. Hannah was the only one that understood him.
Yeah.
And I love Lila.
Which I didn't hate her, but it was just like,
the one I didn't like was for season 5.
what was her name?
I don't remember.
I don't know. The Barrel Girl.
Lumen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like every episode when it ended left you with, I got to see what's going on. I can't wait. I got to see what's going on next Friday. I can't wait for it to come out. And they finally did something wonderful in this season. They made Harrison likable.
Yes. Yeah, because I didn't hate him as much as some people did on New Blood. But yeah, I could see where, like, you remember right after New Blood, what was they talking about? A Harrison spinoff and a Trinity Killer spinoff.
Yes.
I've told you already, if they play this up for another couple of seasons and then do a Harrison spinoff, if they keep him on this track, that might work. But coming off of New Blood, nobody was going to watch that.
Right.
It might have got a season and then it would have got axed.
Well, because they didn't make him a real likable character in New Blood.
Yeah.
And of course, after the ending of New Blood, people really just went like this on Harrison.
Who killed him?
Yeah.
Screw this kid.
But yeah, the guy that plays Harrison, I don't know his real name.
Jack Alcott.
I think he's doing a phenomenal job as Harrison.
Yeah.
I'm really digging his acting. And Batista being back.
I love Batista being back.
I do too. And we finally get all the moments that we want from him and Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're jumping around, but I never thought that it would come to Batista ultimately being killed in the first season of Dexter Resurrection.
No, and I said it too. Like it probably would have got old looking at it now, but if they really wanted to, I was kind of hoping like he'd chase him for another season or two, something like that. But in episode 9, there at the end, I don't know how you was. I knew Dexter wasn't going to stab him, but like when they, spoiler alert, we're this far in, when they killed Batista, I was sitting there with my wife and like I was like this, shaking. I was pissed. I was like, look, I was like, they're about to kill him off, and then pow, 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 and it was like.
But I will say it was such an emotional death, and I think the acting between Batista and Dexter was phenomenal. And I seen the interview you were talking about where they said that scream at the end of episode 9 was all Michael's idea.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that, and we've only seen that side of him one other time, and that was the first episode of season 5 when he kills a man after Rita's death, and Harry's like, "It's okay, son, to show emotion," and he just starts.
This was that primal scream out.
Yes, and that's the thing I love is that Michael has such a grasp on this character that he knows how to play it so well as far as Dexter's emotions and stuff. I would have liked to seen Batista be the ultimate one that captures Dexter. I thought how they were going to play this is when they took his badge away from him. I really thought he was going to go back to Miami and eventually have to explain himself to Quinn and everybody what he's doing, and then lead Quinn and them into. And no matter what anybody says, I don't think it's going to be as satisfying if Quinn takes Dexter in.
No, I always liked Quinn. He was kind of douchey in a season or two.
Yeah,
when he first came in, but he's one of those that kind of grow on you as the show went along.
Yeah,
especially the last season or two when him and Deb was kind of dating or whatever. But yeah, I was hoping Batista would make it to the end, and that was the thing too. Like I've seen where some people was happy Batista died. I don't know what's wrong with you people, but
they were like I've seen where people was like, oh, he was always clumsy and he was always this and that and he was worthless. I was like, dude, he was like,
yeah.
They were talking about it originally after ending the show in 2013 doing a Batista spinoff, and I would watch it.
Yeah, absolutely,
100%. But like I said, I feel like they did him justice in this season, though.
Yeah, like the last episode, I was hoping it wasn't just, well, he's dead, sorry. Like you can see it actually affected Dexter.
Yeah,
and like he like mentioned him like 3 times or something when he was locked in that safe with him.
I was going to say through the entire episode, even before he leaves, it just. And I love the fact that he went over there and got the sheet, and he was like, "You were a good man." And even one spot that hit me, and look, I'm getting goosebumps right now, and it's something really small, was at the end with the detective, the woman that I don't like. She even grabs Batista's hat and takes it over as they're wheeling him out. She's like, "This was Detective Batista's hat," and she sets it on him. And I do hope that they show next season if they're getting signed for next season.
Oh, he'll be back.
I do hope that they show maybe his funeral or something and Quinn's there and everything. But
one thing I said the other day too is like Quinn called after he died already. I was asking like, "Hey, I got a call from New York. What are you doing there?"
He's like, "Get your butt back to Miami."
I think when he finds out that Batista's dead, he's going to come to New York. He's going to go in his hotel room and see his little board where he was connecting dots to Dexter. I think that Quinn knows, or at least has a hunch about Dexter, because he had what's his name in like season 5, like tracking him there for
RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, it won't be as satisfying if it's Quinn, but I think every Dexter fan wants to be able to see him go back to Miami and get what's coming to him.
I think that's where it's going to ultimately end. At least I hope so. I hope they bring him back to Miami.
Well, this is going to be a third time a charm.
I hope so.
And I will say, even me and Chris had talked about it before they ever announced this. After New Blood, me and Chris was talking, and I was like, well, they're not going to bring it back for a third time. And you were like, no. And then when they announced it, I was like, holy crap, But
one thing that popped in my head, too, like, obviously, I'm going to say 100% Quinn's coming back.
Yeah.
I hope he brings Masuka. And I hope we get to see a little bit more serious side of Masuka. Like, he's good at his job because he was always there for the comic relief. But him and Dexter did the same thing. So I'd like to see him kind of come in and maybe help Quinn and be like, all right, he can still crack his jokes and stuff, but I want to
Yeah.
see him do some more of this serious stuff because he had that paper in one of the seasons that was published and all that, or did like a speech or a class or something.
Yeah.
I want to see a little bit more serious Masuka where he's like, okay, well, kind of like Dexter. Well, the blood spatter is this way, and maybe show the similarities between him and Dexter.
That would be good because he always liked Dexter, and Dexter always liked
Mm-hmm.
Masuka. Um, I think it'd be cool if the detectives hired Dexter.
Your wife said that the other day, like 5 minutes after we watched it, and I was going to tell her, and we was yapping about something else, and I forgot. But if that happens, Carolyn was the first one I heard say that. And I really like that idea.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome because when they've seen the New York Ripper's weapon
Mm-hmm.
and he looked at her, that's exactly what Dexter told him, and I was like, oh, I thought that'd be pretty cool, and I want to see Harrison become a cop.
Yeah,
He's following in Deb's footsteps.
I was texting our cousin right after the episode, and I was like, "So, do you think Harrison is going to go the Harry and Deb route, or do you think he's going to swing back to Dexter route? Because I mean, he snapped and killed that one dude, and the way he went about it right there at the beginning, like I almost thought like because I didn't know like the time frame like between the end of New Blood and this, I didn't know it had been like 10 weeks,
Yeah,
so I wasn't sure like is this his first time doing this because he did it like a pro, with the exception of the little blood
yeah,
spot on the ceiling. So I didn't know if maybe he had kind of done that once or twice before,
right.
and he still has that dark passenger because remember, like he had that little flashback, Bobby from The Sopranos, where he stabbed him in the eye.
Yeah, but that's another thing we could talk about. The relationship between Dexter and Harrison, great.
So much better this
Yes,
season.
and they did not keep pushing it off and pushing it off. And I don't think that Harrison will go his route because now that he and his father are, I mean, they're everything to each other now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's really helped him with that dark passenger thing. Not saying he don't have it,
Yeah,
but yeah, I really think that he'll follow more of Deb and Harry's.
and
And so many callbacks in this season. One of my favorite parts is where they're putting the ties on,
yeah,
and you got Harry back there, Dexter, and then
like
Harrison.
like 3 generations of Morgan men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I've seen some people say they want Deb back as a ghost. I don't want to see that.
I think she'll be back at some point, whether it's a finale or something.
I mean, yeah, for a finale or something, but the way they ended it in New Blood with her and him, that was good. Leave it alone. Um, I don't know. The whole setting, like I said, the New York setting was good. And you was fixed to say something.
With Harrison,
Yeah.
like if he becomes a whether it's a cop or goes his dad's route and does like blood splatter or anything like that, spatter, not splatter.
Yeah.
Uh, it could almost be like a 180 from him and Deb because Deb kind of tried to keep him from killing people until the one episode where she finally seen like okay maybe it's not all bad guys. He's not just killing to kill.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if Dexter actually had Harrison kind of on the inside, like this guy got away. Here's his file,
Yeah.
and then he's got direct access to. Okay, the justice system didn't do it. You're on deck.
Right.
So they could do that for a couple of seasons or something too if they really wanted to.
And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, we got to talk about the return of Dokes, the Trinity Killer, Miguel. That was cool just to see them.
Was not expecting Miguel at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'd already seen online where like John Lithgow's coming back. It's like, well, I figured we'd see him at some point.
Everybody can't get enough of the Trinity Killer.
No, he's just got that haunting presence about him. Not to mention he's like 6.5 feet tall or something like that.
But one thing I really enjoyed is because there was a part in there where Dexter's talking to Harrison, and he says, well, I've had these rages. He said, I almost killed somebody at a party. And I was like, he was like protecting your Aunt Deb. And I was like, when did that happen? And they showed flashbacks of Original Sin. I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I seen a thing on Instagram today too where I don't know who it was. There's just some random thing that popped up on my feed. It was like things I want to see in season 2. And they said, bring that, what was that kid's name? Patrick something that played young Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
if they do flashbacks, bring him back, even if it's stuff that's not filmed.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him back as young Dexter in those flashbacks. So, like, he's
Yeah.
already established. Why not? It's like that makes perfect sense.
And it does suck that they canceled it because they announced they were getting for season 2.
Yeah,
But like me and Chris had discussed, I would like to see them do maybe 1 or 2 more seasons of it. But that was a filler.
yeah,
And but now that, like you just said, now that if they're going to continue doing Dexter Resurrection, I would love to see flashbacks, but it be of that young Dexter because he captured the characteristics of Dexter so good, even the way he ate and
yeah.
acted and stuff. But
He was great, and that's what I was telling you and my wife too. Like right after Original Sin, I was like, if they do this right, we could almost have Dexter year round, like Original Sin, Resurrection, Original Sin, and just boom, boom, boom. But like, I think they could have went further with Original Sin, and I've said it before, where if they'd have played their cards right, they probably could have done several seasons and just led right into the original season of Dexter.
yeah,
The only thing with that is you're taking away a lot of the suspense because obviously he's not going to get caught
right,
or killed. So it's like, well, that's a good chunk of, intensity and stuff that like, well, we don't have that.
right, right.
You obviously know he's getting out.
I would like to see like a young Dokes get
Yeah.
brought in and stuff, but I mean, honestly, if they're going to continue doing Dexter Resurrection, I would say we're going to get 3 seasons, and that'd be it.
Yeah.
I don't see them going any more than that unless they can keep it going. And that's what always sucks is this season was so good. Now it makes me excited for the next one. Then I'm like, please don't ruin it.
Right. Don't
Because
drag it out to the point where it's just like,
Dexter has a history, the show, of ups and downs.
yes.
And I'm just like, please don't. Because one of the worst seasons was season 8, the last season they did. And nothing, I mean, really stood out to me on that season. But to get off that and go back to Resurrection, let's get into the actual villains in this. So we got, of course, the Gemini Killer.
The Tattoo Collector.
Yes.
Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
And Lady Vengeance.
Yes.
Is that it?
And if you wanted to add,
the Dark Passenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that they brought dark humor back into it, where Dexter was
Yeah.
so pissed because they called him the Dark Passenger.
They like when that episode, I guess it was episode 2 when it started, and you see the Dark Passenger walking from behind. Me and Heather were sitting there watching, and I said, "Is that him?"
I did too.
Yeah. And she said, "Yeah, that's him." And I was like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "I don't. It kind of looks like him." And then he turned around. I was like, "I don't think that's him." And then I was like, "Well, maybe it is." So I kicked back, and 2 minutes in, he starts talking. I was like, "Oh, that's not him."
Oh, they did a good job of casting that part.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool, and then it was brutal too. The way he used that little what do they call that, garrote or something?
Yeah.
And they like saw their heads off and stuff. That was brutal.
And I like the fact that he had the lights, kind of like what I got underneath here.
Yeah.
He had the strips, and I thought that was pretty cool. The Gemini Killer was probably my favorite. I loved the way that he played that role as far as being so arrogant and cocky.
Yeah.
And he just thought everybody adored him. He was like, I'm the number 1 serial killer on the FBI's list. And Dexter made the comment about you're strong or you're number 1. And he was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, you're easily a number 2 at best. I was like, oh, okay. But I love where the Gemini Killer actually is in Dexter's apartment, and Dexter walks in. He's like, hello, Red. And he turns around, and Dexter's got to hurry up and think of what to do. And he was like, why'd you take my book today, my note? And he was like, I'm so embarrassed, but I'm such a huge fan. And the whole time he's doing it, you can just see him. He's like,
I know.
Yeah. I'm afraid this would happen. You're not the first one. I was just like, but he played it so good. I was
like, just off the top of his head is just like, I'm a liar. Let's go. And just boom, boom, boom.
That's what I was going to say. In this season, he's got his wits back like he did in the original run of the show. And I like that they also he's playing his age.
Yeah.
He's making, I mean, he's not old at all. I think Michael's 53 or 54. He's not old at all. But they're making you well aware that he's not as young as he was in the original, series.
One of the things I forgot to bring up when you was talking dislikes, the whole thing with him getting shot, I thought that was going to come into play a little more. Like he had the acupuncture done a couple of times, and it was just like, yeah, I'm good. I really thought he was going to be like trying to hunt somebody, and it was going to be like, it's acting up, like kind of.
There was a couple of times he did that.
I thought it was going to be like he was in a coma for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And like the first episode, maybe he was in the hospital, like he was not getting around great. So
I
I
can't.
thought it was going to be like come into play more, but
I
that
can't
was kind of
remember where he
random.
was at. I know he's in the subway, but I can't remember what he was running from or
Somebody
something.
bumped him or something.
Yeah, and they played on a little bit, but
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like they really could have brought that out a little bit more,
hmm
but
On the Dark Passenger, when he was trying to catch him, and he had that little metal piece that
yes,
Blessing was using, and he was like, he had Dexter in the thing, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be scared." And he's like, "Please don't." And he rolls his eyes like,
yeah, yeah, and then he dropped the syringe,
"Yeah."
and when he bent down and he was fighting, and the dude started sawing, I didn't think anything about it, and me and my wife was both going like, "Oh," because we thought he was sawing him, and then but I was like, "Man, that's a tough turtleneck." And then when he come back, I was like, "Oh, that's sweet."
Didn't even think about it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, and it showed it 5 minutes before that scene. I was like, "What's he looking at?"
Right.
Like, yeah.
The Lady Vengeance thing, I like how they set it up to where
you thought she was similar to him.
Yeah, and that they were getting closer together, and I figured that's all he was going to do was get his information from her. But then when they kind of started doing like the romantic stuff, when she was going in the shower, she knew he was watching.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Come on, man!" I was like, "No, none of this."
You should have known that wasn't going to happen because she wasn't blonde.
And
Dexter's got a type.
Yeah, no, but she's like 30 or 40, he's 54 or something. I was like, I don't want to see that. And I love when they finally get together and you think they're fixing to actually start seeing each other, but then she starts breaking the news. And the more she kept talking, she was digging herself in a hole. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, nope. And you could see Michael C. Hall does great facial expressions. You could see like his whole demeanor just went down because he was heartbroken. And I will say, I thought he was going to get her, but the way he set her up with the watch was brilliant.
Yeah.
But
I love one of those things like they show, but then it's not in your mind, and then 15 minutes later you're like, ah.
But to see Dexter doing a New York accent, he was like, "There's a Lady Vengeance. She's attacking a man," and all this stuff. I was dying laughing the whole time. But yeah, that's what was so good about this season was it was just a fun season, fun and suspense.
Yeah.
And Prater was phenomenal.
Yeah.
As a bad guy.
Great. I was hoping he was going to make it out.
I did too.
Yeah. You remember, I think you maybe sent it to me, and then I seen it on Instagram too, like early in the season. Like,
he's going to end up with 3 pieces?
Yeah, he's going to cut you into 3 pieces.
Yeah.
Like, and then he did. He had 3 bags.
I would have liked to seen at the end of that where they set him up, where, Dexter set Prater up, but I would have liked to seen Prater get in a helicopter and get away or something because he was such a good character. I thought it'd be cool to see him like.
You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
Zobel at the end of season 2 of Sons.
Yeah.
I thought he was just going to get away and maybe come back into play later or something.
But that ending with Dexter having him on the ice truck killer's table was great. The way he was begging for his life, and Dexter was mocking him like he was doing this. Everything was so good. And I love the fact that when he went to cut Prater's face and he didn't do it, and he was like, "I'm not going in your box." He goes, "No." And I was like, and I knew where he was going with it. He was like, "I do that to remember my trophies. I don't want to remember you." I was like, the ultimate insult.
And I really like it when Dexter gets all intense. He says something about Harrison. He does the finger poke. He's like, "Don't you mention my son again."
Yeah. And I'm not going to mention the guy's name. He's on YouTube. I watch him every time an episode come out. But he said this episode there was no suspense in this episode and nothing that was like really on the edge of your seat. I thought just him trying to figure out the code to open the vault had me going,
yeah.
Oh. And then when the phone died,
yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh.
Did he hear the full number?
Yeah.
Did it die beforehand?
And my favorite, and I shouldn't say this, for anybody who watches my videos, I don't cuss or nothing like that, but my favorite moment in this is where Prater has Harrison, and he calls Dexter and says, "I've got your son. Come back. Why don't you come back upstairs? We're going to chat." And the music's picking up, and Dexter, you can tell he's on a rampage. He's ready to go. And these elevator doors open, and there's Harry on the right-hand side, and he goes, "Get that effer." I was like, oh, boy. I was like, here we go.
The Ghost of Harry ain't playing. Get him.
Yeah. It was so good, man. But man, overall, just a great season. I mean, there's no complaint. And the boy, people was like, what? Yeah, they played it safe at the ending. I've seen some people say they loved it, and I haven't heard nobody dislike this season. I will say 100%. If they didn't come back, I think that was a great way because everybody got their uh, just moment. Everybody got the detective got the file on who's going to be who's the New York Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sadly, yes, Batista passed, but I'm saying Harrison got his girlfriend. He got free, and Dexter has embraced himself now. And I love that he got away on that big. It wasn't a boat. That thing was a ship.
It was a yacht.
Yeah. Um, if it would have just ended, I'd have been like, "Hey, that was cool." But they're going to have another season.
And then he
But
looks in the camera, is like, "I'm going to be who you want me to be," and he's like, "Yeah, everybody just wants to see Dexter be Dexter and kill the
right,
bad guys."
and the and I've heard, like I said, some people comment on YouTube being like, "Oh, it was underwhelming," or it just didn't.
I
I
loved
mean,
it. I loved it.
go back to the other seasons. Season 3, I love season 3.
Me too.
It ended on a wedding, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to have just this big shock where you're like, oh, because if you know they're going to have a couple more seasons, leave it alone. I was not underwhelmed. I was actually uh, surprised on how much I like this season, and I can't say it's my absolute favorite season. I know you said you're going to probably put it up there.
Probably, yeah.
I'm rewatching them right now, and I'm on the last episode of season 4, and that's always been my number one. I don't know if it's the new of the show, but I'm going back to watch all of them, and then I'm gonna rewatch this season. But I will say this season is at least made my top 3,
Yeah,
definitely for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than anything after 4.
I'm gonna say right now, and this is not in order. This is just my top 3 Dexter seasons: is 4, 2, and Resurrection. That's my top 3.
Yeah, because I went back and rewatched them all last year once I heard that this was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I finished New Blood like a couple weeks before this started.
Yeah.
And yeah, every time, like, once I started, I get through them first 4 seasons, just boom, 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 boom. After that, I can tell, like, let me watch another episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and I love the fact that how they built Prater's character where he's so obsessed with killers. And the reason why is because so many people's obsessed with horror movies, kind of like I am, where
Mhm.
I have so many signed masks, and I go to conventions all the time and get autographs. And
You've got your own trophies.
yes, I have my own trophies. But I like the fact that he had like John Wayne Gacy's clown outfit, Ted Bundy's car seat, and when the thing opened up and you could see all of it, and he was like, "This is where the ice truck killer was killed." And he looked over and there's his slides. I was like, "Oh my god!" I never thought we would see the slides again.
First thing that popped in my head was, how do you get those?
What?
Who sold them to him?
That's what's fixated. Remember, he said he got them from somebody, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Hmm."
First person that popped into my head, Quinn. I don't know why, because like I guess he had done some shady stuff in the past, but for whatever reason, it was just like, didn't he say something with gambling or some kind of issue? I can't remember offhand. I've only seen it once,
I
but
don't remember.
that's how he came into contact with those. And Heather was asking me too. He's had 2 sets of blood slides, right?
Uh,
Because Dokes had one.
yes,
Did
yes,
he dump,
yes, yes, yes.
Did he dump those with the bodies? I can't remember. But she was asking me, and I was like, I don't remember offhand. And then he just started a new one, I think.
He went and got a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to the second set? I don't remember.
Don't ask me.
I don't remember offhand. But yeah, I remember he had 2 sets, but I couldn't remember what they were. And that was funny too at the end when he was going through there and he's like, "These are mine."
Yeah. Yeah. You knew he wasn't gonna leave those alone.
No.
But overall, phenomenal season. How did you think they handled Batista throughout the season?
Oh, I loved it because like that's one thing that ticked everybody off on New Blood because they built it up like, oh, we're about to get a showdown. Like Batista's going to confront him. Never happened. He just takes a shot in the chest from Harrison and is like, "Da, da, 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 da. I'll be there first thing in the morning," and never got it. So seeing it this year or this season,
Yeah.
it was awesome. And then everybody's talked about it at this point when they was in the car. I told my wife immediately. I was like, he just had his Heisenberg moment. And she was like,
Yeah,
what are you talking about? It's like, when he's talking to Hank.
in the garage.
Yeah, if I am who you think I am, maybe you should tread lightly. I said, that's the same scene just with these two guys.
And it was so good.
Oh, it was.
And it broke my heart when they took away his badge.
Yeah, you could tell. And even when he went into Prater's thing, what's the first thing he did?
Yeah. He can still fight too.
Yeah, he took a couple of them security guys down.
Somebody we ain't mentioned,
Who?
Uma Thurman did a great job
Oh, yeah.
as Charlie. Holy
Yeah.
crap. How did we forget her? She did great, which I love her acting anyway.
Yeah.
But she did a great job.
That scene where Dexter had her.
Yes.
Awesome. Did you kill my mom? And like, you could tell she was trying to hold it in and getting all teary eyed. And Dexter is just like, you feel that in the pit of your stomach? Like, that's how I felt when you was messing with my son.
Yeah, and he was like, and I love how he's like, did you, or do you, she said, did you kill my mom? He goes, what do you mean? Do you mean that I saw her head off? Like he's getting all into it. Fun fact, I love the fact that what the Dark Passenger was doing, how he was, how Dexter was wrapping it around their throat.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing we ever seen Dexter do.
Oh, yeah.
Very first episode of season 1.
Yep.
That's how he got the guy that killed the boys, little
Yep.
boys there. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Another one thing is the big yacht that he had is called the Getaway. Tell him where the Getaway is at.
Season 4 finale.
Yeah, with the Trinity Killer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I didn't even know that. I know you said the other day the Getaway, and one of our buddies sent a thing, and I was like, that was the name of the episode. It's just little things they sprinkle in. It's like
they're
you
so
don't notice
good.
it first.
You can tell that the writers are back.
Yep.
And I feel like the first ending in season 8 sucked.
Yeah.
New Blood, I was fine with. But when they announced they were doing not season 3, when they were doing bringing it back for the third time, me and you both talked about it. They better not ruin it. This is the last chance they're going to get.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
For them to go from, you said it earlier, I liked New Blood. Last 2 episodes were rushed, but other than that, I thought it was a great season. But so many people just crapped on it. So they was coming from a high, and to me, they went right back to they went from a low to an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, overall is right up there with 4. Like you said, maybe it's recency bias, and I'll watch it again. Like you're going through them now, I will at some point. But yeah, it's up there. It's
definitely.
Randy said it. 1A, 1B. Like they could flip flop any day.
Exactly. I'm going to say this before we sign off here. I've always said season 4 perfect, A+ all the way.
Mm-hmm.
This season, I'm going to say. Well, no, let me take it back. I'm going to say an A on season 4. This one, I'm giving an A as well. Because there was little things in season 4 that I didn't really care for, as far as like how Dexter just kept saving the Trinity Killer.
Yeah.
Over and over. There was little things, negatives like that too, but it's one of those where this is always going to be Resurrection's better. I don't know, season 4 is better. And we have movies like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things where you can tell me to watch Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to tell you the first one's the best. Then I watch the second one and be like, I don't know, man, the second one.
Right.
But, man, you got any final comments before we sign off?
I'm just looking forward to more Dexter now. I really am, because like you mentioned earlier, I was a little late to the Dexter party. I didn't start watching week to week until season 6 started. So from 6 on, I've seen.
Yeah.
And from 6 on, like, this was the one season where I was just like, I gotta wait a week.
Yeah.
I have to wait a week. If it had been any other time, I'd have probably done like Randy and just let them finish and then binge them in a day or 2.
That dude finished all this season in one day.
Yeah. I probably
called off from work,
but I was just like, with social media now, it's just like stuff's going to get spoiled for
right.
I can't do that.
So before we sign off, giving it a go ahead.
One more thing.
No.
What's some stuff that you would like to see going into Resurrection season 2?
It depends on if it's going to be the finale season.
I've seen the one thing, and I haven't seen anything official, but like halfway through the season, they said Resurrection's been renewed for season 2 and 3. like I said, I haven't seen anything from the official account, so I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay, so this is what I would like to see going further
Mhm.
into the series. Harrison getting to be his college degree and becoming a cop.
Mhm.
I would like to see Harrison get with the other girl with the child.
Yeah.
I think that's not over yet. I want to see Dexter continue doing what he's doing, but I would love to see him join the actual uh, police department and being the spatter. But as far as ending wise, I want to see the Miami Metro getting Dexter and bringing him back to Miami for justice. And I would love to see him get the death penalty. And however they're going to end it, I would love to see him either, because they're probably going to do like a lethal injection if that's how they're really going
Mhm.
to do it. I would love to see him seeing Rita, Deb, his dad, Batista, everybody that he had killed, because of his faults. I would like to see that being his last image of
Yeah.
life. And that's the thing is Dexter. We're all rooting for him, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I want to see Harrison have a happy ending,
Yeah.
and I can also see something happening where Harrison getting killed and it just setting Dexter off.
Yeah.
So that's always a possibility.
I really thought this season, like once uh, Batista seen the room in plastic, I thought they were going to spin it and almost like put the blame, like maybe he's the Bay Harbor Butcher, and then
Mm-hmm.
eventually they'd find out, okay, it wasn't him.
Right.
Dates don't line up or something. But yeah, going forward, definitely want to see Quinn and Masuka not only come back. I want them as like reoccurring characters.
Yeah.
Like I want them there, like Batista was. Like even if it's just little things like, what are we doing this week?
Right.
I'd like to see them come back at some point, whether it's like flashback or like the ghost like Dexter sees.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Rita.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Deb come back for something like that. Whether it's like you said, like at the end or something,
Mm-hmm.
And then one thing that nobody talks about: where's Astor and Cody? They just kind of disappeared, like they never was around after season 4. And I understand they went with what, the grandparents or something.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I was going to say. But I kind of I would. It would be cool to see them, and that would be awesome to see them at Dexter's death if that's how
Mhm.
they were going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but there really is no reason to bring them back because they weren't. Yeah, Cody was close with him, but they were so heartbroken over Rita's death that
Astor got really close with him right before mom
yeah,
died or whatever. Maybe it was
yeah,
right after. But and then the other thing, I hope it's just not here's the file and that's it. They played with that New York Ripper stuff way too much this season just to be like, here's the guy's real name. See
no,
ya.
I think there's going to be more into that. I think that's what the detective is going to be looking for,
Yeah.
and it'd be cool if she went and got Dexter to help out with the stuff.
Like you told me the weapon that was used, which obviously he saw it.
Mm,
But
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, because like I don't know if he purposely grabbed certain names out of that pile or if he just kind of grabbed some and
Well, he got
booked
Charlie
it.
out of there.
Yeah, he got her and he got Al, but the rest of them is like, did he mean to leave the Ripper there for them to find?
I think so because it was the top one.
Yeah. So I mean, it's an option, but this if he was like Carolyn said and kind of gets onto the department, then he's inside and he can help find that. What was it, Don Fremp or something like that?
And did he take his blood slides?
Yeah, where he said these belong to me.
I know that, but when they got him back in, when he was trying to wipe his fingerprints off everything, it just says Bayhard Butcher and it don't show anything.
Oh, see, that's something they could play with next year.
Unless he took that little thing and threw it away. I don't know if he did or not. But
Yeah. That's what I asked you the other day when we was watching. I said, "Is it the little plaque thing there?"
yeah,
Because they're gonna notice, like, well, this person's stuff, this person, there's a plaque, there's nothing here.
right.
Maybe it was the butcher.
So they're going to be on the hunt for Prater too.
Mm-hmm.
So
And see, he went out to the ocean, and you remember the old ones? He'd throw them in as like the undercurrent carries them out to the ocean. Like I guess he was wherever Hudson Bay or something up there. Does that carry out to the ocean, or is he going to float up in bags somewhere? Just boop, boop.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, but yeah, I want to see more done with the Ripper because I think that could be a big bad going forward. I really thought that they'd give us a little more than here's a name.
Yeah.
I thought they was going to show something, and then it'd be
Well,
like,
they can't
okay.
show everything in this first season, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, yeah. I'm looking forward to more Dexter now.
So overall, thumbs up on this season. And if I was going to give it a grade, it's an A all the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. A, like I said, to me, might be recency bias. It's right up there with 4, if not just a hair above it.
But what's funny is 4 wouldn't be as glorified and as good if it wasn't for John Lithgow.
Yeah, I couldn't see anybody else being Trinity.
No.
Even if I tried to like fantasy book another person coming in there.
And before we sign off, I'm just going to point out my favorite death of this season was the second Gemini character.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because like when he sliced his throat and then hid that glass, I was like, "What's he doing? Did he not want that glass to be found? He just needed a little bit of blood for that slide."
As soon as he got that thing, Carolyn looked at me. She goes, "That's what he did that for." She goes, "Blood slide."
I sure didn't think about
So,
that.
what was your favorite kill of this season?
Probably Prater.
Yeah,
because like
he played so good.
Yeah, because he was just seeing his little butt strapped to that table, and then like for him to be such a a little guy, he had that big personality, and immediately went from being in charge to just like, please don't kill me, please.
Yeah.
And then Dexter mocking him and stuff. That was probably my favorite.
Right on.
And I thought something was going to come from the tattoo killer because when he's like Dexter Morgan, and he's like, who's that? And he goes like, the Bay Harbor Butcher, and he goes, "Oh!" Like to me, it sounded like he was going to say something.
Yeah,
and then he.
I ain't gonna lie, I was glad he was the first one to get. Yeah. But anyway, with that being said, that is our review of Dexter Resurrection season 1. We cannot wait for season 2. And if you've noticed, for all my followers, I have nothing on the walls. Me and my wife has purchased another house, and we're in the middle of moving. So that's one reason why I haven't even been able to do any reviews. We just went and watched The Naked Gun. Absolutely loved it.
Hilarious.
I wanted to do a review on that, but like I said, with us moving right now, it's been hard to put out some videos, and I wanted to make sure I got this one out. So for right now, this is going to be the last one I put out, probably at least for a couple weeks, because I got to get everything moved. We're just about done. So with that being said, God bless each and every one of you, and I will see you next time.